Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beer Estate. I'm Jake from Exit Realty Living, and this is...
I'm Mark with Cactus Mountain Properties.
Oh, buddy. Today we got a great episode. We are at Fate Brewing Co. in Scottsdale, Arizona. Why don't we go on over to Mark, who's in the field. I mean, I guess we both are in the field, but let's go over to Mark, who has a little bit more about Fate Brewing.
Yeah, so Fate Brewing used to be called Fate Brewing. They dropped the Mick. This is their first location out here. They have two. The other one is located in Tempe off of Mill and Southern. I think it's a great vibe here. We're just south of Old Town here, kind of in between that North Tempe and South Scottsdale area.
Yeah.
Great place to go and just hang out and chill and have a few drinks and converse with friends.
Yeah, they have a huge outdoor seating area, which is nice with misters, so you're staying cool even in the summer heat. They have a gold medal award-winning beer from 2018. It's a Hatch Chili beer, which is really good. It's kind of spicy, so if you like spicy margaritas or anything like that, this might be something you want to try out.
You don't find spicy beers all that often. That's the thing. You don't.
I used to have to at my hometown bar in Oregon. We'd call it a dirty ashtray, and
spicy beers.
So you get a Tecate,
yeah,
and then you put hot sauce and pepper in there, and that's the closest thing
that sounds
we got.
horrible.
It's good. It's actually really good. It's like a michelada.
Yeah. Did you line the rim with tahini?
I should. If I had that, I would have, but we didn't have any tahini at the bar, unfortunately. It's a little less popular up in Oregon, but
I wouldn't think you find many spicy beers up in Oregon.
No. I mean, another thing that people from out of state don't realize is they come here and they think that Tempe is pronounced Tempe because of the vegan or temp.
Yeah.
The vegan food, Tempe with the H at the end, spelled exactly the same, but the H makes all the difference. So I remember first 6 months I was here, I was calling it Tempe. Just a totally different experience. But okay, we're at Fate here today. It's Thursday, May 26th.
There you go.
Is it the 26th?
Glad you know the date.
Hey, we're working with what we're working with. But we got
Thursday, May 26th. It's 105 degrees outside. We are outside at Fate Brewing. Not nearly what it is the temperature because we're shaded here. They have misters. They don't even have the misters going, and we're comfortable. Not even sweating, guys.
No, are you a sweater?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
we're both sweaters, and neither of us are sweating. As you can see, they got misters in the back. So if you do have a sensitivity to temperature, come on down to Fate Brewing. They have all your outdoor dining in the summer and Arizona needs covered.
There you go.
Today we got two beers. All right, but before we drink our beers, we're gonna play Ham and Hummus. A game that I made up because the other night I was like, man, it would be good together. And also all I had in the fridge, ham and hummus.
Literally, guys, we just decided on this about 30 seconds before we started the podcast. So this is an impromptu game. I don't know what to expect from it, but
All right, Mark. So
it's up to you.
So boom, ham or hummus. You're gonna name me one thing a combination of two things that you at one point you thought, wow, this would be really good, and you tried it and it just wasn't.
Oh, I can't. Really?
Yeah.
How about and it was good.
Okay. I mean, if you want
got me to think about this now.
Clock's ticking, dude.
Well, one thing that most people don't realize is peanut butter and bacon go very well together.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of peanut butter and bacon, as well as peanut butter honey, peanut butter and bananas.
Okay.
Apparently it's all peanut butter today.
What about peanut butter and pickles?
Never tried it.
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Not the sweet. You don't want to get the bread and butter pickles, but if you get a good kosher dill and peanut butter, it's actually a fuego.
You want a little teaser for next week's episode because we're going to be at Monkey Pants?
Yeah.
How about a beer and a lager and olives?
Okay.
Green olives.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Goes well together.
No, that teaser
for next week.
That makes sense. I mean, I feel like we might even want to get like a shot of whiskey with a pickleback You know, why
All
not
right,
step
good.
it up?
Yeah.
You know,
Where you go tequila and pickle juice.
you do that?
Tijuana hookers.
Wow. Tijuana hookers, you've heard it here first, folks. So, ham or hummus. That was our first attempt at that.
Ham and hummus together do not work.
I thought I hated it, but also thinking back to it, I have a positive connotation still, so I'm not sure how. Like, I did like it. It wasn't the worst. What about ham and what else? Like, what have you tried with ham where you're like,
That I don't like?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. I don't eat all that much ham. I mean, who eats, like, I eat ham on, like, holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what about just like a ham sandwich?
Yes. And?
I'm talking about that kind of ham. Because that's what
Yeah.
I was eating with hummus. I wasn't like taking a.
No, like, even
Christmas
with, like,
ham.
no, I'm not talking like a ham steak. But, like, yeah. Like sliced deli ham. Anything you can get in a deli is usually pretty good with ham.
You want to know a fun ham fact? Ham fact for everybody, all right? The Cuban sandwich, they actually don't have any pigs in Cuba. So the Cuban sandwich was created in America by Cuban immigrants. So
The more you know.
the more you know. Anyways, we got 2 beers here today. We'll be back with another segment of ham and hummus next
Great
week.
episode
But
of
right
Ham
now,
and
we're going to
Hummus.
get down to our beer review. You ready?
What do you got?
Well, I have the classic berry tart. I had the Hatch Chili Gatos earlier, which is a gold medal 2018 World Beer Cup. Golden ale with the addition of roasted Hatch chilies. Hatch chili aroma, mild flavor, and very little heat. It's really good. What I have in front of me now, boom, right here, nice and hazy color, is a berry tart American sour ale, brewed with over a pound per gallon of fresh strawberry puree and vanilla. Sweet notes of sun-ripened strawberries balanced with a touch of vanilla and tart fruit finish. So it's tasty. It's delicious.
On your sour scale, where does it rank? 1 to 10.
Well, it's a sour. I mean, they're all sour ales, right?
Yeah. But
I would say this is good because some sours can have that like too tart. They can be
scale
too
of 1
tart.
to 10, where are we at on that?
7.78.
Wow, that's pretty tart.
Oh no. Oh, on tartness scale
Yeah.
or just like good
Sour.
scale?
No, sour.
Oh, 3.8.
So it's a mild
It's a
sour.
mild sour.
Yeah.
Really tasty because the vanilla opens up a lot of possibilities for the flavor to go.
And I am enjoying the Spade IPA. It's 5.8%.
It's not even on the menu.
ABV. And it's described as a fresh cucumber IPA. They just added this to their repertoire here, guys. They got rid of one thing that was actually on the menu. As you guys know, from the last couple podcasts, I am working on some summer ales. So Spade IPA sounds like a great summer beer. Let's take a taste test and see how it performs.
Yours was so much more professional than mine. I'm just like, yeah, I got a beer.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Full disclosure, I'm not the biggest IPA fan, okay? I just not a big fan of super hoppy beers.
You love
However,
IPAs.
this is a cucumber IPA. What the cucumber does, it kind of cuts into that hoppiness, so it's easier for you to drink. So on these warm summer days, I would enjoy this. It's not too bitter, not too hoppy for you. The cucumber cuts into it. This is a great beer.
It's sort of the same thing with the vanilla and the sour. You know, it really cuts into the original part of the beer. You know, the sour or the IPA. You know what? I think should we switch beers? Just take a little taste test.
You want to give it a
Yeah,
whirl?
let's do
All
it.
right.
Here,
There we go.
there we go. All right. Smell it. Smell it. Ooh, it smells nice, right? Wow, that's so different.
Yeah.
I expected it to taste like one of those cucumber Gatorades.
Because beer tastes like that.
Because everybody
That often.
loves cucumber Gatorades.
Don't buy the cucumber Gatorades. They're horrible.
I like them. They're good. All right. Well, that was good.
Yeah.
I like our beer review. You know a little bit about Fate Brewing. It used to be called Fate.
Yes.
It's been around
When
for
they
a
first
while.
opened, yeah.
Multiple locations in the valley. Scottsdale, Tempe.
Come check them out.
They're good.
It's a good vibe.
They're good. So now I guess we're going to get into a little bit of real estate news.
What do you want to talk about today?
I think we wanted to go more agent focused today. Talk
Okay.
about some things that, I mean, the market's shifting to a little bit more of a normalized market. There's still a large amount of agents in the market overall with active licenses. But we wanted to talk about a smaller portion of those agents, which are luxury agents. So
Okay.
what does it take for someone aspiring to be a real estate agent to be a luxury agent? You had a really good explanation earlier.
Well, there's a few things. If you're a brand new agent and you're aspiring to be a luxury agent, then you're probably going to need to associate yourself with a brand that is associated with the luxury market, at least here in the Greater Phoenix area. Probably going to be the same thing as you go across the entire country, though, too. That's the easiest way to do it, unless you already have those connections already built within. So if you're coming from an industry, or if you have friends, family members, sphere people who are involved in that luxury real estate market, then it's easier to make that transition or that jump into that luxury market. That's step one, in my opinion, probably the most important step if you're going to try to associate yourself into that luxury market. What are your thoughts?
I agree. For a newer agent, that's definitely important. Brand recognition and the connections that brand brings along with it. So, you know, you could go with Sotheby's or some other sort of luxury facing brand, which are bigger companies. But also in the Phoenix area, there's a lot of niche brokerages. We have the most brokerages per capita in the United States. Don't fact check me on that, but I heard that one time, so it must be true. Full disclosure. So really, you might go with a brokerage that's very niche, very small, and only have a few agents because they're all leveraging one person, and that's the power of really like developing yourself in a market, in a specific.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just because you're joining a brokerage that is associated with that luxury market, or has that luxury feel to it, does not necessarily mean that you're entitled to getting that luxury business. It just like
anything, but it's generally leveraging one person's connections who either started the brokerage or is a power player to be able to understand the systems, because they're a lot more complex. So when you're in the luxury market, there's a lot of things that are different. As an agent, you need to have a better knowledge of housing trends, housing materials, and build styles, different things like that, and also a clientele that can afford luxury buildings. Like we were saying, the average homeowner, if you're buying a $500,000 house, you want to put $100,000 in, that's 20%. You buy a $5 million home and put in $100,000, that's only
2.5%.
2.5%.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference. You're completely catering to a different type of client, but a client that generally understands what your role as an agent is and the worth that you have. So besides hooking up with a luxury brokerage or someone who's leveraging those connections, what can an agent who may be newer or is trying to break into the luxury market, can they do to increase their worth to that type of clientele? What do you think?
Well, a lot of what is going to, the same thing that goes with any new agent, is the effort that you're going to show, that you're putting forth for each client or each potential client that you're going to have, regardless whether or not it's a luxury or just, non-luxury client. That's really where your worth is going to be put. Just because, let's say I'm a luxury agent, I've been doing luxury real estate for 20 years, I have plenty of business, versus an agent who's brand new, trying to gain the business. There's your worth right there. You're a go-getter with this business. And I'm not saying that the person that's been in the business for 20 years is not a go-getter, but they're a lot more established. Okay, so whereas
they probably developed a team or something like that, and you might be a part of that.
They're more established, whereas the brand new agent doesn't have a lot of clients necessarily. So they're looking to really gain that footing with their own brand. Just because you're joining that brokerage doesn't mean, like I said, you're not getting that business per se.
Right.
You know, you're still working on, you know, your business. You're still an independent contractor in all likelihood. So you're building out your brand, and your brand is going to be in that luxury market if that's where you want to go.
Yeah.
And it's going to take some time. Luxury real estate out here, guys, and along with any market, depending on how luxury you want to get or how unique you want to get, luxury real estate takes time to sell. Your market time on luxury real estate is generally a little bit longer than what you're going to have in your normal medium priced home.
Yeah.
Just because you're looking, your buyers are just, there's fewer of those buyers. You're looking at the top of the pyramid here when you're looking in your buyer pool, the people that are able to buy or want to acquire that type of real estate. Other things are your advertising. When you're a luxury agent, when you're looking at the advertising, if it's a $5 million home, you better have $5 million worth of advertising. You know, you can't have the standard, you know, I'm going to have, you know, some photographs taken, maybe a video or two. It's got to be luxury looking.
I have an iPhone 6.
I don't care. You're not using it for photographs.
But I'd use that for all my other listings.
I don't care. You're not using it for photographs.
All right.
Yeah.
See, and that's what we're talking about, you know, like if you don't have a laundry list of professionals in your network, you need to find those people. You need to have, I mean, like someone who is your client as a luxury seller or buyer, they're going to want you to know contractors in the area. They're going to want you to know pest control. They're going to want you to know people who are general contractors, all sorts of different jobs that these people are going to want to put niche things into their home. And so that's why it's important to know who deals in luxury housing materials and design, because that's different than your standard builder or general contractor. Someone who has a special connection with someone from Italy where they get a specific type of wood that you can't find anywhere else. Like that is very valuable either to your client after you've sold or bought the home, and that allows you to create those connections. So if you're trying to break into the luxury market, it might be better to go as a part of a team, a luxury team, so that way you can, one, build the connections, two, understand what it takes, and three, just have a group of mentors, because all of our backgrounds are different, but unless you learn how to interact with people on that level, which is true for any sphere of real estate, you're going to have difficulty if you don't spend your time and effort to, one, get good at what you do, and two, spend
I would say
time.
Be smart about it. You know, leverage whatever connections you have in building. If that's the market you want to go into, you got to leverage it. If you know nobody in it, you got to find people who are involved in it. Okay. I would say like most agents are pretty open at giving advice on certain things. Just even calling agents. If you're at a brokerage right now, maybe your brokerage doesn't have a lot of luxuries or doesn't specialize in luxury at all, and you're wanting to learn luxury, reach out to agents who are involved in luxury real estate. Okay, doesn't hurt. You know, I talk with agents all the time. In different things and different aspects, just to gain my market knowledge and my business knowledge with real estate. Yeah, it's a passion of mine. It's a passion of you. I know. I mean, we're often talking back and forth on stuff.
That's what makes Beer Estate different than a lot of other podcasts. You might have one guy from one brokerage, but we're collaborating, and that's what we recognize as the difference between.
We're two different agents at two different brokerages.
Yeah. And two completely different experience levels, two completely different brokerages. His is a local one, mine is a national one. And so there's just so many differences, but we come together because we understand that we both bring value to the table, which is really all you're doing as a real estate agent is you're providing value. So if you can stray away from like selling and saying, I want to sell your house, I want to buy your home, I want to do all this, and you start getting down to the I want to add value, that's when you're really going to find success.
When you want to add value, you know how to show how you're going to add value, that's where you're going to start to excel as an agent.
Exactly.
That's where people are going to start to realize that, and the business will. It's usually it's gradual, but the business starts to come to you.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, my value proposition, I'm the stand-up realtor at standuprealtor.com. I'm a stand-up guy. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to be high touch. And at the same time, I make the biggest transaction of your life fun and simple. I had some buyers the other day. We just went under contract, and they were really nervous about buying this house or going under contract in this house because it was basically sight unseen because they're out of state. And so I said, look, I'll do it. I'll go to the house. I'm going to check out everything. I made sure that they felt comfortable before the purchase. The home was like an hour away from me. It took me 2 hours to get out there, but I recognized that by doing that one little extra step, that's what it's going to take to make sure that my buyer feels comfortable, that my buyer has a good experience. And a lot of agents wouldn't do that. So that's why when you pick someone like me or Mark, we're willing to do that. I remember when you were helping me with my house, we went out to open houses all the time. We were going, we spent a whole day looking at houses.
Yeah. You know, and depending upon what your market's dictating is how you got to go about if you're going to get a home in that market.
Yeah.
You know, if we had an inventory of say 30,000 homes that are just sitting on the market, then your time frame to look at a house could be a little bit more spread out. You're going to have a lot more that you want to look at. If it's something where it's we're at 4,500 somewhere around there, which is basically a zero inventory, you have to be aggressive on it. You have to know what you're getting yourself into, and you have to basically know how you got to structure your offers so it's going to get accepted in that type of market.
And there's a lot of value in a quote from Talladega Nights. And I know you all know the movie. It's got John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell, and you know the movie, right?
Of course.
And there's one famous line that I like to implement as well, and I try to tell my clients, especially buyer clients, there's one thing you got to know, man, and that's you're either first
or you're last.
Or last.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people, imagine if you've ever bought a stock or a bond or some sort of asset, financial asset that can go up and down. How do you feel when it starts to go up? You feel great. How do you feel when it starts to go down? Bad, and you might even sell it. So if you take that nervousness of a smaller transaction like a stock or a bond, you transfer that to possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars if you've owned the house for 10 years or more. That's a lot of stress. So a lot of people will say, boom, first offer that comes in, we're going to accept it if it's a good offer. And that's where offer writing and knowing how to structure your offer
writing,
well.
Communication with the other agent. Those are big.
Yeah, if you don't, every single transaction that I've done so far, I have called the agent because one, you can find out a lot about the seller and the home itself, and two, you build rapport with that agent, so they're going to fight with you. They're going to know you more than someone who's just texting them.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes a big difference. So, you know, if you're an agent out there, contact us. We can help you actually learn a lot about what it means to be a full-time agent, what it means to do this as a career. This is something that we can teach, and that we have tools that can help you, resources that can help you. And it's just important because if you're a new agent or an experienced agent, how many times have you had a bad experience with another agent because they just don't know what they're doing?
Quite a few. And you as an experienced agent, you realize it kind of early on that you're going to have to pull a lot more of your weight on this one. You know, you're pulling their weight as well if you're going to make it work. It happens. You know, as an agent, you're representing your client's best interest, but I'm not going to call out other agents when they're not doing what they should be doing.
Right.
I'm going to make it work. You know, I'm going to make it. You know, I might need to fill in some of the gaps where they're missing, but I'll make it work.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's stuff where it's simple, it can cause a headache later on. I'll get it taken care of.
Sure. I mean, and that's what you have to do. I mean, a simple call to another agent, they might just not even know, you know, because some brokerages, especially if you're a new agent, you come on, they might do a little bit of training and that's it. You're on your own.
Yeah.
That's a very common thing in our industry, is to say, you know, you eat what you kill, sink or swim.
Yeah.
So
definitely,
you might actually be helping them, and if your brokerage offers opportunities to recruit people for either residuals like Exit has single level residuals, so anyone you bring on, corporate pays 10% of their commissions to you. So you have a single level residual program. Keller Williams tried to do something similar with profit sharing. What does Cactus Mountain offer? Anything for people that you bring on and mentor?
No, we would work out some sort of employment agreement.
Yeah.
And depending on, like, if you were to work under me, I'm going to make sure that I give you the support that you need
100%.
to make sure you're successful. I'm not in the business to make sure that agents come to me and then they fail. If I bring in an agent to my brokerage, they want to work under me. I want to make sure that I have them set up to where I basically find out where their strengths are. We work on those weaknesses, or we mitigate where those weaknesses are. We delegate that out.
Yep.
You know, we don't do revenue sharing. We're 100% brokerage. So, you know, you're, aside from whatever agreement we work on, you know, it's, my goal is to help you become a successful agent, not just now, but 10 years from now.
Exactly. And that brings up another time, or another good segue into when do you hire people on? Like, what can you do? Like, if you're an agent or a business professional and you're a sole proprietor or something like that, or a solopreneur,
yeah.
When do you scale? When do you become an organization that's larger than just yourself?
I think and if you read up on this, you'll have people who will say different things. You'll have coaches that say different things. And I think, one, first and foremost, you should do that as well, if that's what your thought process is, if you want to really grow your business to that. But then take whatever information you gain, make it your own, okay? No one system's 100% a guarantee this is what you should do then and then. I think for the most, my philosophy is you're going to bring on, once you know that your business is where it's at, to where you can't handle what you absolutely need to do for your clients to make sure that they're 100% satisfied 100% of the time. Okay, strive for that. All right, when you notice that, okay, I'm starting to slip on some of this service on stuff, let's start to mitigate and delegate some of this stuff out so that we can we make sure that we're giving the best experience to our clients, because that is the most important thing, is when we're giving the best experience to our clients, in my opinion, all right, that is going to grow your business better than anything else. You don't want to be known as a discount broker that gives you shitty service 100% of the time, and you're getting the shitty car, and
I mean, when is it time? I mean, really, it's up to you. A lot of people maintain a solopreneurship their entire time, and they don't want to scale, and that's totally.
I think
okay.
The average size of a brokerage out here is 1 to 3 agents.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we have a recruiting push going on right now, but we have about 9 or 10. Yeah, I mean, a lot, like, this is a breeding ground for brokerages because of the robustness of our real estate market. So you see a lot of niche brokerages, a lot of experimental brokerages. So it's just something to be mindful of when you're choosing a brokerage out here. And if you're having any questions about what brokerage to go with, hit up me or Mark. We got you. We'll take care of you, and we'll make sure that you're able to find a choice that's right for you. Luxury, national, niche, whatever you need, we'll help you out. And I think we're going a little over here on time. We're right at about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good place to wrap up. Please hit us up with your comments, questions. anything, you know, gratitude, subscribe, like.
We want feedback.
Give us reviews.
Yeah.
All of the things.
If you haven't noticed this about us, is that we're here to help you guys out. If you got questions regarding, if you're an agent, you got questions about, you know, real estate, whether it's here in the greater Phoenix market or anywhere across the U.S.
Yeah.
We'll lend you our advice. I got 16 years of experience. You got a boatload of transaction experience with a company that I'm not going to mention.
Yeah, he who shall not be named. They just entered the Fortune 500, which is great for them. I'm rooting for them.
But what's nice is that you also have like a little bit of the new licensee experience as well, because you're even though you had like a boatload of transactional experience, it's a little bit different when you're getting newly licensed.
It's almost like I went to school for it. You know, like you get like you get a portion of it that's theoretical and quantity based, and you do a lot of exercises. But now I'm actually in the trenches. So I went through basic training, and I said, you know what, this is perfect for me, and this is what I'm going to do. And
how fun is it?
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
It's got highs and lows, but when you're a new agent, you want to focus on consistently creating opportunity. He told me that, and it's true. If you don't have opportunity, all the sales coaching in the world won't help you. You gotta have a client before you can sell them on anything, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, focus on that. Talk to me and Mark and I, you know, we're here for you. Beer Estate, this is our agent focused episode. So if you have any questions about being a new agent, an experienced agent, give us a shout.
Oh yeah.
Show us some
We're
love.
here to help you guys out.
All right. Wait, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Beer Estate. And I drank all mine. I'm kind of tipsy already, but yeah. All right, we're going to have a great day. See ya.